said it in June, I'll say it again. Supreme Court nominee Sonia Sotomayor is up for confirmation, and some jackasses are still saying she has to explain her wise Latina comment. All together now, what did Sotomayor say? I would hope that a wise Latina woman with the richness of her experiences would more often than not reach a better conclusion than a white male who hasn't lived that life. And what was the judge talking about? Trigonometry? The price of milk? Nope. The topic under discussion was race and gender discrimination. Talking about judging such cases, Sotomayor argued that the experience of facing discrimination might lead to a better decision about discrimination. Fancy that. As I said in June, maybe it's different on the moon, but here in the real-lived USA, for centuries, white males have been the norm, and all others have had a different experience. A different experience, not of snow or math or what the Constitution says, but of discrimination. At the time, I was finding it hard to believe that in a season that saw the killing of an off-duty police officer by another police officer in New York, in part because the victim was black, and the planned assassination of a doctor in Wichita because he helped women, I thought then that it was hard to believe that anyone in their right mind would disagree with Sotomayor that difference exists in the United States, or that to have experienced discrimination might actually make one smarter about it. But this week, we are faced with the spectacle of a former Klan sympathizer complaining that Sotomayor might have a bias problem. To hear Jeff Sessions, who once called the NAACP un-American and communist-inspired because they forced civil rights down the throats of people, his words, a man who was once heard saying he admired the Ku Klux Klan and who resolutely votes against immigrants' rights, well, this week, the spectacle of Sessions worrying about bias leaves one almost speechless, but not quite. As Judge Sotomayor pointed out in that same Wise Latina speech, quote, let us not forget that until 1972, no Supreme Court case ever upheld the claim of a woman in a gender discrimination case. Was that evidence of no bias? Or is that simply the kind of bias that Sessions and his fellows like? That's all we have time for today. You'll find everything you've seen on this show at our website, GRITtv.org. There's a place to comment on every story. While you're there, join our mailing list. Go on, it's not scary. We can let you know what's coming up that way. You can also subscribe to our video or audio podcasts and find out about our Twitter feed. We have a Twitter feed. You can just follow GRITtv or me on Twitter. And please become a supporter of this program. We're broadcasting commercial-free, thanks to you, across the United States on Free Speech TV, Dish Network Channel 9415, and we can't do it without your help. You can ask for us on your local cable or public television station. Thanks.